Now at 9, the Ottawa County Sheriff offers a reward for help capturing escaped inmates.
President Biden is hoping to give Democrats a boost in upstate New York, but Republicans say it's there his soft on crime policies are showing. I'm Lauren Blanchard in Washington. I've got the details coming up.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Jordan Albee. The Ottawa County Sheriff's Office is now offering a $2,500 reward for help capturing 2 escaped inmates. 4 inmates in total escaped the county jail back on Tuesday. 2 have already been captured, Rusty Reese and Buck Martindale. 2 are still at large. Take a good look at them. They're Daniel Zajac and Tyler Tavis. Again, there's now a $2,500 reward being offered for the capture of each. Authorities say they should be considered armed and dangerous. The Kansas Bureau of Investigation says the deaths of 2 people in Labette County this week are now considered homicides. Bodies were found on Monday morning at 693 16,000 Road in Mound Valley. Their identities have been confirmed as 43-year-old Leanda Pound and 39-year-old Jason Backen, both of Mound Valley. Authorities say as autopsy results determined that the victims died from gunshot wounds. Anyone with information is being asked to call police. Authorities in Independence, Kansas say an 8-year-old has died after a house fire. Fire happened yesterday afternoon at 4761 East Highway 160. First responders removed the child from the house, took her to the hospital where she was pronounced dead. The cause of the fire is still being determined. The Kansas Fire Marshal's office is helping to investigate the exact cause of the fire. Well, a man at the Terrace Green Apartments in Joplin is speaking out about a mold problem. KOAM's Carrie Worthen talked with the tenant.
Alex Williams is a tenant who has lived at Terrace Green Apartments in Joplin for 2 years. So when he noticed mold growing in his apartment, he notified the property manager about the issues, who then sent out a cleaning service.
Angel Clean, they had to schedule to come out and do it. So they came the following week. So then they looked in that closet there, and that's when they saw the black mold and everything.
Alex said the maintenance painted over the mold. According to Joplin Health Department, paint applied over moldy surfaces is likely to peel.
But they already painted over the ceilings and stuff before they got here to actually see like how bad it was. So now, if you was to look now, it's because they painted it there, it's growing in other spots.
Williams stated that he was only given 3 options: break the lease and move out, move into another building with increased rent, or move into another apartment in the same building.
The mold was just as bad. The bathroom had rotting baseboards. The floor was warped. It was lopsided.
Williams has come out of pocket for moving expenses and was told he will not be getting his deposit back, nor will he get any medical expense help if it is related to the mold.
Like anything that can be just wiped off, we have to leave it.
Alex and his girlfriend said there was a water leak above their apartment that was not taken care of. According to Joplin Health Department, molds are usually not a problem indoors unless mold spores land on a wet or damp spot and begin growing. They also say molds have the potential to cause health problems. In Joplin, Carrie Worthen, KOAM News.
KOAM reached out to the property manager and they declined to comment. You can find more information along with links on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. Meteorologist Doug Hefty joining us now. Firstly, the forecast changes coming our way, huh?
Yeah, we got a strong cold front that is heading toward us as we go through the overnight hours tonight. So we're actually going to get some real fall-like weather into the region. It was cooler today. We had a weak front that rolled through yesterday, so about 4 degrees cooler today compared to what we had yesterday. 74 though is our normal high, and we're going to get closer to that mark over the next couple days. But look at this front. So it's through Kansas City, so right on our doorstep, and it's going to pass through as we go through the rest of the overnight hours. With it, we're going to see some clouds. We just have a few mid and upper level clouds out there right now. A few little showers out across central Missouri. This little batch may give us a few sprinkles tomorrow afternoon. But waking up early, 6 a.m. 55, 9 a.m. only 56, noon 64, only a high of 68 degrees. So quite a bit cooler. We do have some rain chances. We'll talk about that here in just a bit.
Doug, thanks so much, man. Some Joplin students got to meet with Governor Mike Parson today as he visited training centers in the area. KOAM's Yana Atala learned why this visit was so important.
Centers in Joplin. The governor says these centers are important as the state has over 100,000 job openings.
The quicker these students get out, they get their training, get their certificate, the quicker they go in the workforce. So it's always fun to come down here and you see good things happening.
Parsons says since the state is in good financial shape right now, they should invest in communities and workforce.
It's a great opportunity for businesses to expand, for new businesses to come here, which we're seeing, but I think also just as important is retain the businesses you have.
The president of Crowder College says it is important to showcase the things they do at the Advanced Training and Technology Center, even for the elementary and high school.
Elementary school and the high school, I think he will get to see where the end result could be and hopefully share with those students what their future is. Crowder College.
Students at Joplin High School got to talk with the governor himself.
Really emphasizing that point of how important our education is. I mean, he did that up here as well, but even then he was telling us this is great, and we're really fortunate to go to a school that has this many programs.
The governor says the students he spoke with know what they want to do after graduation.
More focused on, hey, I got to figure out what my profession's going to be before I get out of high school. And I think you've seen that throughout the day, which is a good thing. These young people taking it on themselves to make those decisions. So I always think that's a good sign for the future of the state of Missouri.
In Joplin, Janna Haudala, KOAM News.
Governor says because the state is in good financial shape, support for training centers is higher than ever before. With fall season officially starting, you're likely going to see more deer on the road while driving. The state of Missouri is ranked 14th in the nation for potential crashes involving deer. Canada's Department of Transportation says that even though deer can be seen on roadways throughout the whole year, drivers should especially be vigilant in the fall. Cherokee County Sheriff says seeing only one deer on the side of the road, heads up, because that still doesn't mean you're all clear.
Begin with, if there's not oncoming traffic, drive with your bright lights on, especially in the dawn and dusk time frames of the day. Scan the road ditches, look for eyes in the ditch, and always assume if you see one deer that there's more deer close by. So just use caution, lower your speeds, and travel safely.
As many of us know, fall time is a special time for the deer. It's near mating season for deer, which makes them even more active throughout all times of the day. City of Joplin is now accepting bids for the sale and redevelopment of the old downtown public library. The building sat vacant now for several years. It was given to Missouri Southern to turn into office space, but it was transferred back to the city. Now the city is looking for someone to give it new life.
Well, there's been lots of different uses over the last few years since the library relocated to 20th Street in Connecticut. You know, it's been used as a storage facility. The municipal courts had used it for a time during the pandemic, so we just felt it was time to repurpose it.
Bids will be accepted until February 1st. President Biden in New York to celebrate a massive investment by IBM through legislation passed under his watch. President hoping to give a boost to Democrats in competitive congressional races. Republicans, though, say the president should focus more on the rise in crime. Fox News correspondent Lauren Blanchard has more from Washington.
It's great to be here with the Hudson Valley Congressman, Sean Patrick Maloney.
President Biden is hoping he can chip in on the campaign trail for Democrats running in tight midterm races.
We need to build this economy for good, middle-class working people again, and that's what today is about. Today's about jobs. Today's about jobs.
Touring an IBM facility in Poughkeepsie, New York, and touting the CHIPS and Science Act he signed into law in August. The president's campaign message is that Democrats' long-term economic policies will work and are paying off.
Made in America is no longer a slogan. It's a reality.
Republicans are running on another message that Democrats are soft on immigration, bad for inflation and gas prices, and weak on crime. Poughkeepsie is where early this week a father was murdered in a hotel lobby after visiting his son at Marist College.
Why is crime at a level it hasn't been in 20 years? Because Democrats defunded the police. They elected woke DAs who don't believe in putting people in jail.
New Labor Department data shows the job market is starting to cool. There were 219,000 unemployment claims last week. In Washington, Lauren Blanchard, Fox News.
KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14 takes this time now to honor another four-state hero. Arthur Miller, served in the U.S. Navy and Marines from 1941 to 52. Native of Fredonia, Kansas, Miller received several awards. We are proud to thank and salute Arthur Miller. He's tonight's four-state hero. Doug Henny's next with a complete look at the forecast, and later, Pitt State Gorillas preparing for a top 10 battle against Northwest Missouri. Getting here from the Gorillas in sports.
Well, it turned out to be a pretty nice Thursday once again for us today. Quite a bit of sunshine. Hair cooler than what we had yesterday as we went into low to mid 80s for highs. But we have a strong cold front heading toward us, and that's going to change our weather up as we go through the next few days. Pretty much clear skies for us right now. A few little clouds kind of streaming through. Now, we really need rain. We've been in this drought since June. We are on the top of the scale. Exceptional drought all through southeastern Kansas into the metro. And then everybody else in the red, extreme drought, only down toward Table Rock is where it gets a little bit better. But we really need some rain. We don't really have much in the forecast over the next few days. It does creep up a little bit as we get into next week. All right, 63 in Stockton, Miami 62 in Parsons, Anderson at 62. But if we look just to the north, here's our strong cold front. Look at the cooler air behind it. KC's down to 69. 54 in Lincoln, 59 in Goodland, 54 in Des Moines. Look at Rapid City at 35. So that cooler air is going to rush in as we go through the overnight hours tonight and give us more fall-like weather over the next couple days. 66, winds are pretty much calm. Humidity is at 56%. Pretty much clear skies. You can see a few mid and upper level clouds kind of streaming through, and you can also see that front with that little line of clouds and even a couple little showers picking up. Little wave right across the northern parts of Nebraska. That could give us a few sprinkles late tomorrow afternoon. So not a whole bunch of rain in the forecast. All right, let's go through time. Here's midnight. Here's that front. Random little shower trying to pop up along the front as it pushes through. When you wake up in the morning, lower 50s. We're going to have partly sunny skies tomorrow. Here come those sprinkles. So here's noon. Random little sprinkle across the region. And look at our afternoon. We only warm up into the mid to upper 60s for afternoon highs. So here's your day planner. 54 in the morning, 65 noon, 67 by 5 p.m. It is going to be a little breezy. Northerly winds 5 to 15. As we get into the evening hours, I think those little sprinkles kind of fizzle apart, but we may have a few out there all the way into Saturday morning. We'll break out, see partly sunny skies by the time we head into Saturday afternoon. Upper 60s for highs. So temperature is pretty good over the next few days. All right, look at the winds. They really start to pick up. So here's 2 a.m. As that front rolls in, we're going to have winds gusting 25 upwards to 30 miles per hour. So it's going to be kind of windy in the morning, and then the winds will start to taper a little bit as we get into the afternoon hours for us tomorrow. Four-state Friday night high school football. Actually football weather. 60 at kickoff, 53 by the fourth quarter. We're going to call it cloud interference, but besides that, it is shaping up pretty good. 68 tomorrow, 69 on Saturday, 75 on Sunday, so just about a perfect October weekend. We do sneak back up into the 80s by the middle of next week. Our best chance for rain is going to roll in on Wednesday, then we cool back down as we head into next weekend. So we're trending cooler slowly, but we are trending that direction.
Look at next Friday, 38. Mm-hmm. That's something. All right, we'll see you in a little bit. Thanks so much, man. Coming up, a rebuild that could take several years.
More than a week after Hurricane Ian, the people of Southwest Florida are starting to pick up the pieces, but they have a lot of work ahead. I'm in Fort Myers, and I'll have an update on the progress next.
4 out of 5 people with long COVID are still experiencing limitations in their day-to-day activities. CDC conducted a survey of Americans with long COVID. Approximately a quarter said the ongoing symptoms significantly limits their daily activities. The long-term impact of long COVID is still, however, being researched exactly. Crews are slowly restoring access to some of the harder hit areas of Southwest Florida after Hurricane Ian, though officials warn this rebuild could take several years. Fox News correspondent Nate Foy has more.
Across Southwest Florida, people continue the painstaking process of combing through what's left of homes and businesses.
Day by day, man, we don't know.
Florida officials are working to restore access to barrier islands so residents can assess damage. Construction on a temporary bridge to Pine Island was completed this week, making it easier for first responders and supply trucks to access the area.
We did an emergency contract and we did it in 3 days. The Publix is open there. Fresh stuff again, just like normal.
Meanwhile, power has been restored to the majority of customers who lost electricity. Florida's largest power utility says crews are working around the clock to get the lights back on. But for those in devastated areas like Fort Myers Beach, the process could take much longer.
Many buildings are unsafe and need to be inspected before they can actually have the power turned back on, even when we have power in the area.
And as these communities rebuild, people are reflecting on the heroic efforts that saved lives during the hurricane.
Arriving the grandmas.
This former Chicago police officer spent 11 hours rescuing his disabled mother and her neighbor from the storm. He made the long trek to their homes as the floodwaters continued to rise.
We had to get her through the debris and the furniture and stuff. Once we got her back out and the water had gone down, it was probably about up to sometimes her waist, sometimes her chest.
Forecasters say this area will see its first significant rainfall since Hurricane Ian this weekend. Reporting in Fort Myers, Nate Foy, Fox News.
Still ahead, OPEC fallout.
Lawmakers are struggling to find ways to counter high gas prices that are only going higher. I'm Caroline Shively. I'll have details straight ahead.
President Biden pardoning thousands of Americans convicted of simple possession of marijuana under federal law. It's a dramatic step toward decriminalizing the drug and addressing charging practices that impacts people of color. The president is also calling on governors to issue similar pardons for those convicted of state marijuana offenses, which reflect the vast majority of marijuana possession cases. President Biden saying he's weighing what to do now about gas prices. This after OPEC rebuffed his summertime request to pump more oil. It did the opposite instead this week. OPEC's production is going to put pressure on gas prices here. And now members of Congress are putting forth proposals to punish the cartel. Fox News correspondent Caroline Shively reporting now from D.C.
It is a disappointment, and it says that they're a problem.
President Biden said he's disappointed OPEC is cutting oil production, but other Democrats are furious and calling for action against Saudi Arabia.
I don't know whether their motivation was to hurt the American people, but the fact is it does hurt the American people.
This is a giant, glaring message from the Saudis that, no, we don't share your interests.
The administration plans to release another 10 million barrels of oil from the Strategic Petroleum Reserve next month, but OPEC plans to slash production by 2 million barrels a day. Some Democratic lawmakers want to yank U.S. troops from Saudi Arabia in retaliation. The Wall Street Journal reports the president is also considering scaling down sanctions on Venezuela's authoritarian regime to let Chevron restart oil production there.
Very surprising move, but certainly one of desperation as oil prices now drifting higher ahead of the midterm elections.
Republicans want the Biden administration to do more to increase drilling at home and make the U.S. energy independent.
We could have other nations dependent upon us. China could be dependent upon us. That would help foreign policy and also make the world a safer place.
Another plan being floated on Capitol Hill is called NOPEC that could open up members of OPEC to antitrust lawsuits. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
A different way to make the house smell like fall, turning some garbage into pumpkin spice. Sorta. More on this next. All right, pumpkin spice season is upon us, and now your trash can even smell like it. How about that, huh? Hefty is selling cinnamon pumpkin spice ultra strong trash bags. Hefty says the limited edition scented trash bags are perfect for people who want to keep their home, quote, smelling fall fresh. It's available online at heftypumpkinspice.com, heftypumpkinspice.com. Box of 20, by the way, 13-gallon bags. Costs about $6. So if you really like pumpkin spice, and I made sure, Carrie, she's one of our reporters, and I was making sure that I pronounced bag right in that story because, as many of you know, I grew up in Chicago. I was born in Canada, grew up in Chicago, and bag, that's how you say bags in Chicago. Could I have a bag? Paper or bag? How about bag? So hopefully I got that right. All right, we'll move on. 30 more minutes news, weather, and sports coming away. Some local elementary students had a chance to talk to pilots, learn about aviation.
Tensions are still climbing in East Asia as North Korea continues test launching missiles. I'm Greg Palcott in London. That's my story. Coming up.
Roughly 30 planes landed at Pittsburgh's Atkinson Municipal Airport for the Fly Kansas Air Tour. KOAM Segun Bamadelli has more about the tour's mission of inspiring the next generation of pilots.
The Fly Kansas Air Tour is a 3-day, 9-city celebration of aviation. Pittsburgh is the second stop on the statewide tour.
I really like the planes around here. They look cool and you get to learn about the planes and stuff.
Over 200 fifth graders from the Pittsburgh School District met the pilots, learned about aviation, and got to see what it was like from the pilot's seat.
That goes up. Pull back goes up.
It's actually like being able to see everything inside the plane. It's really cool being able to sit in the seat because the seats are pretty comfy.
Mike Olsen, a pilot and a civil engineer, says kids are the reason he does the tour.
Well, I enjoy when the kids do climb into the airplane and get to move the controls and experience it and really see and touch what flying is like.
Olsen says his goal is to inspire anybody who wants to learn to just go for it.
Just like to emphasize is that anybody can do this. You know, if you make up your mind, you can learn to fly right here. You can go fly, and you can go fly for airlines or charter pilots or air ambulances, whatever you choose and how you want to make a difference. A lot of people don't realize how accessible aviation is in Kansas. And if you want to do it, if you want to fly, it's certainly available.
In Crawford County, Shagun Bamdele, KOAM News.
Fly Kansas tour is going to end Saturday in Junction City, their municipal airport. Third Thursday was in full swing tonight again. Joplin with extra paint strokes for celebration. Started 15 years ago when one pop-up gallery set up on a third Thursday in March 2008. The rest is history, right? Setting off inspiration for artists across Joplin, across the region, really. Just think about it. Since then, Third Thursdays have been the home for local artists to showcase their talents. Mayor of Joplin, Doug Lawson, today took time to make a few proclamations. The first proclamation honored the National Artists and Humanities Month of October. The second honored the 15 years of Art Walk in Joplin, celebrating the arts and artists, many accomplishments and skills from far and wide.
It was time that we recognize the art talent that exists in Joplin and take advantage of the opportunities to show that art and to involve the community in downtown Joplin as they enjoy, appreciate, learn about, and witness the talent that our local artists have.
Mayor Lawson encourages everyone to come out and see the art walk for themselves. It's truly a wonder. City of Pittsburgh showed off its new pickleball courts with a ribbon cutting today. The courts were formerly tennis courts at Four Oaks, but they made the decision to resurface the court and change off all the nets to make pickleball official there. There are still some upgrades to be made at the courts as well.
We want to kind of tame down the fence look here, lower some of the fences, put new fence in. The backboards behind me will need replaced, repainted, new lighting, and then probably some shade structures with some seating for the people waiting to play.
Kansas Crossing donated $10,000 towards the new court. The court was originally built back in 1972. R.E. Smith Construction in Joplin is celebrating its 70th anniversary. The construction company was established back in 1952, started from a small carpentry and residential construction company to one of the leading general contractors here in the 4 states. The celebration marks more than 8,000 projects in more than 8 states. Elon Musk was supposed to be deposed today in his legal battle with Twitter, but lawyers agreed to postpone it. This comes after Musk says he's ready to move forward with the $44 billion deal to buy the social media company. But Musk's lawyers today said Twitter is now refusing that offer and is looking to move ahead with trial. Amazon is looking to hire some holiday help. The company says it hopes to add 150,000 new staffers nationwide. The job openings include full-time, seasonal, and part-time positions. The company says sign-on bonuses will be offered to those who accept holiday positions. Learning more about the American response to North Korea's latest missile launch and aerial war games near the South Korean border, Fox News senior foreign affairs correspondent Greg Pelcott has more now from London.
Another day, another provocation from North Korea. Pyongyang adding to its recent flurry of military activity, sending at least 12 warplanes flying near the South Korean border in an apparent show of force. This drill is coming just hours after the North fired 2 missiles into the Sea of Japan. South Korean officials say those launches could be a test run for a pre-invasion attack.
Guam is home to major strategic assets that will be deployed on the Korean peninsula, and Okinawa has a U.S. military presence. The missiles aimed to hit strategic assets.
The U.S. and regional allies responding with a series of trilateral naval exercises involving ships from the USS Ronald Reagan Aircraft Carrier Group. South Korea also sending at least 30 of its own planes to monitor the threat from North Korea's fighters and bombers. And there could be an even stronger provocation on the way. Japanese intelligence reporting Kim Jong-un might be getting ready for another nuclear test.
We believe that North Korea may engage in further provocative activities in the future, including conducting nuclear tests.
The U.S. now urging North Korea to come back to the negotiating table, claiming the door is open to de-escalate if Pyongyang will engage with the West.
We continue to be prepared to meet with the DPRK without preconditions, but it's unfortunate that these efforts, they have not reacted similarly.
The U.S. is also working to strengthen UN sanctions against North Korea, but so far they've been blocked by Russia and China. In London, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
A bit later, possible changes coming to the NFL.
The NFL's concussion protocol is reevaluated after a starting quarterback is injured in back-to-back games. I'm Eric Messersmith in Los Angeles with how the league and the Players Association are responding.
Well, it's turned out to be a nice evening as we've had mostly clear skies over the past several hours. Temperature is still very comfortable outside, but we're really going to drop back as we go through the next few hours. Nice shot. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. We really need the rain. We've been in a very deep drought since about June. We had all that rain in the spring, but we're on the top of the scale at exceptional drought. Southeastern Kansas into southwestern Missouri, Oklahoma severe, Kansas severe, gets a little better toward Table Rock, but we really need some rain. We just don't have many chances over the next few days. Temperatures, not bad, 64 in Iola, 62 in Veneta. We have Neosho at 66 degrees. Well, look at this. Here's a strong cold front just to our north. This is going to pass through tonight. Look at the 50s up across Nebraska and parts of Iowa. So that cooler air is going to head toward us over the next several hours. 66, winds are calm. Those are going to pick up later on tonight. Humidity's at 56%. We just have some mid and upper level clouds kind of streaming through. But you can see that front, this little line of clouds, couple little showers right across central Missouri. Little wave behind it that may try to give us a few sprinkles late tomorrow into tomorrow evening. But besides that, mainly dry. So here comes the front, maybe a couple sprinkles trying to pop up. This is at midnight. As we go into the morning hours, the front is through. We start into the lower 50s, kind of in and out of clouds all day. Lower 60s by noon, 61 in Lamar, 64 in Veneta, 62 in Parsons. As we go into the afternoon, I think most of us mid to upper 60s, 67 Neosho, near 70, Pineville, Bentonville, lower 60s in our northern counties. Look at these light showers, a couple sprinkles trying to work in tomorrow evening. So we are going to have a lot of clouds. We're just not going to get much rain out of this, just a few random light showers and sprinkles. Let's go into Saturday. We'll start with clouds and then partly sunny by the afternoon. Look at our temps, upper 60s once again. So it looks pretty good heading into the weekend. All right, here comes that front tonight. These are our wind gusts. So the winds are really going to pick up. Gusts 25 upwards to 30 all through the night into the morning hours. Now, once we get into tomorrow afternoon, the winds will die down a little bit, but it's still going to be breezy as we go through the day. For State, Friday night, high school football. We're going to call for a little bit of cloud interference. May get a sprinkle, that's about it. But look at this, 60 at kickoff. By the fourth quarter of games, down to 53 degrees. So it's actually going to feel pretty good for high school football. Our first Friday night that we've had fall-like football weather. 68 tomorrow, 69 Saturday, 75 on Sunday. So the entire weekend's going to be fine. Slight random showers, rain chances Monday and Tuesday, better shots by Wednesday.
Mr. Hetty, if I had a yellow flag, I'd throw it in there towards you. I challenge the cloud
interference.
Yeah,
you're going to challenge it.
Yeah,
all right.
Make it go away.
All right. I'll work on it.
Doug, thanks so much. Appreciate it. All right, coming up in sports, the Liberal Bulldogs hitting the field for a Thursday night matchup against Appleton City. Plus, Pittsburgh State Gorillas preparing for Saturday's top 10 showdown against the Northwest Missouri State Bearcats. Jacob Leonard has that and more next.
for the Pittsburgh State Gorillas. The Gorillas host a top 10 matchup this weekend, aiming to stay undefeated against Northwest Missouri State. The Gorillas are 5-0 and ranked 7th in the country. On the other side, Northwest is 4-1, sits at number 9 in the latest national rankings. It's definitely going to be a great atmosphere in Pittsburgh. Seats have already sold out, and PSU started selling standing room only tickets for Saturday afternoon.
We've used some social media to, challenge our fans to get to the game by 1:40, be in their seats and get there and start that atmosphere, right at kickoff and to be loud, be as loud as they've ever been in Kearney Smith Stadium. So if we can do that, then that home field advantage certainly is there and will be important for us.
I think that's really what we should get every week, honestly. This is a big week for us, for the community. I expect it to be loud. I'm excited, though. I'm excited that we're going to have a crowd like that.
I think it's going to be great for our atmosphere. Last year was pretty loud on that last drive. I could barely hear in their stadium. I think we'll return the favor with all of our fans at this game.
At the high school level, we have some Thursday night action tonight in Southwest Missouri. It's a battle of the Bulldogs this evening with Liberal hosting Appleton City. And these two teams both been really good all season. They enter the night with matching 4-2 records. In the first quarter, look at this, quarterback Peyton Morrow. Plenty of time back there to throw. Eventually, stops and goes over the middle to Luke Bott. He outruns everybody for the touchdown. And with the 2-point conversion, it's 8-0 Liberal. Sticking around in the first quarter, Morrow going to keep this one himself. Lowers the shoulder, takes a little shot, but he is in to put the home team up double digits. To the second quarter now, Liberal with the ball once again. Toss goes to Morrow. He had a nice night. Through a little bit of traffic down the far side and in for another touchdown. Liberal wins big over Appleton City, 40-22. This week is rivalry week for the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs host the Vegas Raiders in Week 5, playing on Monday night. The Kansas City 3-1 this season after going on the road and beating the Buccaneers last week. The Raiders, meanwhile, are 1-3, coming off their first win of the season. And Kansas City really dominated this rivalry lately, winning 13 of the last 15 meetings. Still, though, these division rivalry games are never easy.
It's going to be a battle every single time. It's going to be both teams trying to play their best football. It's a true rivalry. We know that it doesn't matter what the records are. You're going to go out there and play. It's going to be a dogfight. And they got a great football team. I mean, their record, they don't have the best record, but every game they've been in the game or been leading the game at certain points. So we understand it's going to be a great challenge for us. And especially Monday night at Arrowhead, we want to go out there and find a way to win.
The Kansas City Royals finished up their season yesterday with a 9-2 loss to the Cleveland Guardians. And just hours later, the Royals announced they are parting ways with manager Mike Matheny. Matheny joined the Royals prior to the 2020 season, spent 3 years in Kansas City, picking up 165 wins while losing 219 games. They were 65-97 this year, finishing with a losing record for the 6th consecutive season. And that's it for sports. We're back with more news after this.
Changes to the NFL's concussion protocols. This after a starting quarterback is injured in back-to-back games. Fox's Eric Messersmith in Los Angeles has these details.
The NFL's handling of concussions has been a source of controversy for quite a while now, and a blow to the head of Dolphins quarterback Tua Tagovailoa in a primetime game has reignited a debate about the league's protocols. It was a scary scene when Tagovailoa laid on the ground for more than 10 minutes and was taken off the field on a stretcher after his head slammed against the ground in Cincinnati. The situation further magnified what happened just a few days earlier during the Dolphins' win over the Bills in Week 3. In that game, Tagovailoa also hit his head on the turf and struggled to gain his footing before leaving the field, only to return in the second half. Many people questioned why he would be allowed to re-enter the game, but Tagovailoa and the team insisted that he was dealing with a back injury and not a concussion. Coach Mike McDaniel said Miami followed the proper procedures.
He was evaluated for a head injury immediately and then cleared by several layers of medical professionals.
The NFL Players Association wasn't so sure, launching an investigation into the incident and ultimately deciding to fire the independent neurotrauma consultant who initially evaluated Tagovailoa during the Bills game. The NFL and the NFL Players Association have agreed on revisions to the concussion protocol, specifically adding language that would stop a player from re-entering a game if he shows gross motor instability, regardless of the cause. In Los Angeles, Eric Messersmith, Fox News.
Coming up, going to preview a new children's movie called Lyle, Crocodile. A beloved character reaches for a new global audience in the book-to-screen adaptation of the best-selling series Lyle, Crocodile. It features Shawn Mendes in his first major film role. Leading a cast includes Oscar winner Javier Bardem and Brett Gelman. Both Bardem and Gelman talk to us about what viewers can expect. Here's Fox's Kristen Goodman with this story.
Gosh, time to wake up. Come on. The classic children's novel, Lyle, Crocodile, comes to life in the new live-action animated musical comedy.
It's a love story of friendship. It's a friendship story of a kid and a crocodile and how that changes the whole neighborhood.
Do you realize how different things have been since I met him?
It's about freedom of being who you are, you know, no matter how strange that might seem to other people.
Shawn Mendes voices the beloved singing and dancing Croc, with Oscar winner Javier Bardem playing Lyle's owner, Hector P. Valenti, and Brett Gelman as the evil neighbor, Mr. Grumps.
Once I got the role, I started to dig in a little bit deeper, and I found this world of magic and how many people love these books, and it was fun.
I don't think I read it until I was cast in it, and I'm bummed that I was late to the party too, because I think that it's one of the greatest children's books ever written.
With Lyle influencing change and bringing the best out in people around him, both actors open up about the animals in their life that bring them joy.
My dogs, Janet and Tony, I mean, they are the coolest people I know. And yeah, they absolutely, I mean, they made me a much more caring, less self-absorbed person.
I'm not a dog person, but I have a dog now, and I'm starting to fall for him.
In Hollywood, Kristen Goodwin, Fox News.
And that's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. Going to leave you tonight with video of the International Balloon Fiesta in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Beautiful. Be safe. Do this all again tomorrow. See you then.